Hey, hello everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What a wake up call this is. This is the first time I've been out this morning. I haven't been for my normal cool down walk after a workout because I haven't done one. Basically, I sort of did just a few like loosening up exercises and just some strengthening and stuff like that this morning, but I didn't do like a jump up and down kind of workout. So, and plus I knew I was coming into town again, and I thought I'd invite you again to share with me a bit of a walk, just for a few steps. I so enjoyed it the other day. It was really nice. Really, I remember when I sort of signed off on that, and I looked down and I thought, oh my God, look how far I've come. I was almost into town. It was great. It was great. So thanks for joining me, and thanks to the people that commented. It was really good. So yeah, what I was going to say to you this morning was I was just going to talk to you a little bit about kind of walking and doing some extra steps and things, and just how actually important that has become in my life. Oh, do excuse the hair. I'm sorry. I tried to make myself look a bit more glamorous, but forget it. You can't really, can you? Not on a windy day. So I've just bundled my hair up under here and hope I get into town. It's going to, by the time I go into the ladies and make it a little bit more reasonable before I meet up with my friend, it'll all be good. So, yeah, I was going to talk about some steps, wasn't I? Yeah, it's become, the exercise part of it has become fundamental in my Slimming World journey. Well, my slimming journey, period, whether I'm following Slimming World or not. I kind of made the decision when I started this that I knew I had to do some kind of exercise with it. Otherwise, I would probably end up with, I know you're going to get some loose skin, but you're going to end up with a body that's probably slimmer, but I may not be happy with either. So I didn't really want that. So I knew I was going to have to do a bit of exercise, and me and exercise, anyone that knows me will know, they don't go hand in hand naturally. They just don't. So anyway, I decided that I was going to definitely do that. And so I did. So I started off, I just found a couple of DVDs. I quite like the Davina. I like the T25, Shaun T. A lot of people know that one. The HIIT workouts. The HIIT workouts are great because they are short, sharp bursts of high intensity activity, hence the name HIIT. So I still kind of do some of those. I'm probably not doing quite as I was doing them pretty much sort of 5 days a week. Now I'm tending to probably do them more like 3. But I definitely still want to get my steps in every day. So I do my very level best to get a minimum of 10,000. And over and above is great. So on Tuesday when I walked into town before, by the time I got home, and as you know, being women, we're always sort of busy doing stuff in the kitchen and things like that. By the end of the day, I think I clocked up nearly 20,000. So that was fabulous. Very pleased with that. Today will probably be a similar thing. I'm just walking to town. I'm hoping I shall walk back unless it's like bucketing down with rain or something. So it should be similar figures today. So that'd be good. But yeah, I'll make it now that the minimum I do is my 10,000 because there's such a lot of kind of health benefits to that. So, so they tell us. So you have to kind of go along with that, don't you? But the other thing I was going to share was this week my husband went for his annual, what they call TIA meeting, because he had a minor stroke back in 2012. I was grossly overweight myself. He wasn't particularly overweight, to be fair. He was a little bit chunky. He had a job at the time that where he was travelling up and down the M25 a lot, so staying in hotels and things with his job. Not a particularly healthy lifestyle, I guess. So, I'm not saying that was a contributory factor. We don't know the diet, but certainly he's always liked his pies and things. And so since then, anyway, we've had to make some changes, and of course, I knew I needed to make some changes. So we do eat a lot more healthily now. But his cholesterol on the day that he had the stroke turned out to be something like 7.9 or something, which is pretty high. And his BP was off the scale in the ambulance. I mean, obviously some of that was down to too stressed. Sorry, we're at a busy road. Just bear with whilst we get across this busy road. There we go. Right, let's move across. As I was saying, so yeah, in the ambulance itself, his BP was really high, due to, as I say, partly due to stress of the occasion, but mainly due to the fact that his blood pressure was just out of control, which again was a contributory factor. It turns out some of his arteries on the side of his neck, the carotid, I think they're called, are extremely blocked. So a bit like he needed descaling, so to speak. Little road to cross. So yeah, it was all very scary. Luckily, it turned out to be a very minor one. We take that as a warning, because but the grace of God go I. Because whenever we hear of people, as you do most days, of somebody that's succumbed to a stroke, and it's just so devastating for them and their families. So my heart goes out to anybody that has that. And we were very lucky with our situation, but it could have been a lot worse. So yeah, he went for his annual check yesterday. He got the results. He went 2 weeks ago for he has blood tests every year, just to see how everything's doing. How his organs are coping with the medication, because he'll be on sort of tablets just to keep check on the blood pressure and things. That's just going to be part and parcel of it, which is fine. If that's what you've got to do, it's what you've got to do. So 2 weeks ago he had to go and have his blood test and go back to the results yesterday, and he said the woman was so pleased with him, and I think they are. I think they love to sort of deliver good news, don't they? And she was sort of saying, Mr. Rich, you're doing amazing. You really are. His weight's good, his BP was spot on, cholesterol was down to, I think it was 4.5, 4.6, something like that, which is terrific considering where it was. So he's had to work at it, and he very, very kindly said, so it's all down to my wife and her cooking, which is lovely, because we all eat a sort of semi-well plan, and trying to eat it very healthily now. But I think the exercise, I really do. I think the exercise really helps. So just doing these extra steps every day. I mean, he's always sort of kind of kept himself fit. He used to run a lot, but he doesn't run so much anymore. But he does a sort of, it's called Krav Maga, which is a kind of, it's a bit like Taekwondo, that kind of, self-defense type thing, which he goes to a couple of times a week training. Quite lots of roads to cross this morning. So yeah, he went and he goes and does that a couple of 3 times a week, and that sort of helps keep him really fit. He's got an active job. But we're both kind of very mindful now of what we're putting in our mouth and what we're doing with our bodies. Our bodies are so much more important. Excuse me, I'm not crying, it's cold. It makes my nose run. So it's now become, hopefully it's going to be part of my life forever. I never thought I would enjoy exercise like I do. I really do enjoy it, actually. I like music, I like bopping around to it, and I do all different things, and I've done a couple of videos sort of showing myself up really, but hey, it's what I like to do, and I like to share with you and show people what I'm kind of doing, and I guess if they're interested they'll carry on following, and if they're not they'll unfollow, so that's fine. It's about doing what keeps me motivated and happy, and this kind of thing does. So yeah, I would encourage you to, you don't have to go out and buy an expensive Fitbit. And I've got a Fitbit. I haven't got some of the really expensive ones, but I've got one that sort of tells me my steps, and this one I've got now tells me my sort of heart rate. So when I'm working, working on the workout, I can have a quick look at it and think, oh yeah, I'm probably in fat burning mode now. But it just, for me, I put it on in the morning, and it stays on until I go to bed. I think some people actually keep theirs on. I take mine off at night. I'm not too worried about sleep patterns and things like that. I sleep very well. Obviously, I do on odd night when you don't sleep, everybody does. But in general, again, since I've been slimmer, I don't seem to have so much trouble sleeping. I used to wake up and feel so uncomfortable, and it's like a big beach whale trying to get out of bed, it was a sort of like a 2, 3, try and lift yourself up and then roll out of bed. I obviously don't have that anymore, so that's wonderful. So many benefits, but certainly doing the steps and things it's a massive part of my life now, and I'm not as obsessive. When I first had it, I was a little bit obsessive, you know, sort of make sure I wanted to sort of hit 15,000 a day or whatever, but as long as I did 10,000, anything over and above is an added bonus. And I know and the 10,000 I think is about 4.77 mile. It's not quite the 5 mile, but it's ever so easy to get there. It really is, you know. That's the beauty of having the steps. I look at them and I think, okay, I need to do another 800 steps or whatever. So, you know, run up and downstairs a couple of times. You can just sort of do, if you're on the sofa, you can just stand up and, you know, just do a few high knees, or, you know, if you can't do high knees, just moving your legs up and down, just so that you're actually like imitating your walking. That will work as well. So there's no real excuse for not doing it. If you're committed enough, you'll find a way. That's what I think. You know, that's what I say anyway. If you really want to do this, you will find a way. But the benefits are so great, and so we've only got to remind ourselves of, go back to 2012 and that terrible morning when I found him upstairs. You know, it's just, if ever I needed any encouragement or reminder that this is the way forward, that is it. So I will let you go now. I've been chatting on again for 11 minutes. Thank you so much for your company again. I really honestly enjoy these little chats. Even if it is to myself, but I know there's people out there going to be watching this, because I've got, there's people that always do and they always comment, and thank you so much. And hopefully it will inspire you guys as well today to, because it's getting colder and it's getting a bit more difficult, it's a cold morning, you're in bed and you think, oh, do I want to get up and do this exercise? Do I want to get up and move about? But when you think of the benefits that it gives you, your body, you kind of sort of owe it to yourself, really, don't you? To sort of just try and take as good a care as you can of yourself and your family as possible. So that's all, folks. I'm now getting to a busy road and almost into town again. So I will catch up with you very soon. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll speak to you all later. Have a great Thursday. Bye.